Alright, this is a poem written by me titled The Sweetest Melody. She clutches the piece of paper, fire with thick bold letters and thought over the header, an eviction notice with a date, telling her by that time she is to be relinquished from the decades-old projects where she's laid her head, tucked her baby girl in. This woman could have never foreseen the days where getting paid is the outcome of soliciting old men, young boys. In her other hand, she clutches the small, fragile fingers of her seed, the obscurity bleeding from the eyes of this child as she holds on, looking into the face of her mother, standing only as tall as the belly that cradles her new sister or brother. Just down the street, the melodic echoes of jump ropes and sneakers striking the hopscotch board is all that can be heard. The dope boys, crowding the corner, giving each other daps and see-through plastic bags containing their dark green shredded maps of meadows they would soon fill. 6 feet under, unmarked graves, they pave their own ways with ells raising from the willows they puff from. Sprung to the block, day in and day out, their throwback jerseys stained with cigarette burns and gin from 3 nights before. That could potentially be this mother's womb, which could potentially hold a bastard of a boy who, like them, won't be able to distinguish the letter B from the letter D, count past 3, instead dribble balls atop police outlines marking their many shot down friends. To him, she would say sorry with this eviction notice in hand, making her feel more enfeebled, quite inferior than any night she allowed the many different men to thrust their unlawful lust deep into her spine and bust. Never could she have foreseen such an unlikely outcome. One child, one on the way, standing in front of the tattered projects, holding the eviction notice in front of all she had left. One sofa, a TV box, a mattress. As youth-filled children, letting the sun and the breeze weave through their synthetic manes, surpass with laughs and joy, mud stamping their knees, hair like growth in their groin. This was a mother, a woman, all of 24, already scorned. The birds chirping sang the most beautiful melody she'd ever heard. Mom? The 3-letter word said the same forwards and backwards, flips, toss, reverts itself in her head over and over again, stood for something much more bigger, much more powerful than all the sin she'd ever committed, given birth to, aborted. She could hear the voice of her child reminiscent in her own utterance some 5,475 days before, 9 years old, King Elementary School, grade 4. She didn't want him touching her, didn't mean to develop the soft outlines of lumps that would one day nourish her offspring, didn't want him intersecting her travels of sleep where she dreamed, only to find her stark, sweat-filled self somewhere in between, repeatedly calling her name, Christine, Christine. All she wanted was a sorry, not ready to be a mother, not finished with her adolescence, not strong, not smart, not even able to dream. That monster that abused her, she could feel in the touch of her daughter's hand the recognizable trace of his DNA that stained her sheets as the rain pounded her window pane. And the distinct features of her child's face was a mirror of him, now 5 years since his passing away. So her baby girl, Christine, would say sorry with this eviction notice in hand, for all she never know or come to understand. A father she never know. Out of love, Christine would learn to let go. The woman, plump with brown freckles speckled over her creamy tan skin, gently closed the door to her convertible, making her way to mother and daughter standing on the corner hand in hand, her faded cocoa hair waving in the wind. Mom? But Christine, numb, could not bear all the words she, her own mother, was meant to say, longed for that protection, found rejection because of the battle she only came second place, could not seem to erase the scars twisting around her backside, coiling around her waist, could not bring sound to her unheard sobs, bitter whiskey on the taste of her tongue, muffling her cries of helplessness, voiding her of all physical pain. Feet drowning in shoes 10 times outside, Mom was a title she no longer remained. She let go of her child's hand. The social worker smiled a reassuring smile, outstretching her palm, clipboard held firmly in the other. She'd be gone, one less sin to face, becoming a blessing for another. She'd be with a home, and the only noise to be made out was the chirping of the robins. Never had they sang a melody so sweet.